Hey guys, John here with a silver update. I've been away all weekend, so I haven't had a chance to commentate on what was a massive move on the silver market, in particular gold as well, down 15%. Obviously, these moves don't happen every day, and even though in my last few videos you've seen I've been concerned about the metals being under some pressure now, obviously as Bernanke has tried to come out and said his mission, his mantra now is to flatten that yield curve. From my point of view, that's deflationary, and so I presume the metals would be under some pressure. But to see a 15% drop, the biggest bear in the world would never expect that. Although silver is extremely volatile and its moves are exaggerated compared to most commodities, that looked like a capitulative move down where the market just gave up. You know, the shorts came in, but then at the bottom of that market, it was just, I was watching it sort of maybe every half an hour. I was tuning into the price. I was away for the weekend and on my phone, and it was just a major capitulative move down. Just bang, the bottom fell out of it. So I bought some more this weekend. Do I think the lows are in? Don't know. It did look like a big capitulative move down, which and it did come off $1 off its lows. I don't know. My long-term targets, as I've mentioned, is between 27 and 33. Now, it got obviously well within that range last night, so I am buying here. But I wouldn't be surprised to see it come down further. Not much, and not much where you would say, it's worth waiting for that. Like, I'm thinking $25 might be where it comes down to. There's a chance it comes down to $20 just to really clear out this market, get everyone who is... I've been saying to a mate of mine and to a few sort of close people, even on that interview with, that you saw, that discussion I had with Wee Pollock, everyone has been piling in, buy, silver. I mean, the mania was almost like it was back when it was hitting 50, although we just weren't getting the price movements. We were getting some movement in the silver market, but this time it was more in the gold market. And we had an interesting move from, say, 1600 to 1900 in gold. Did go a little bit parabolic there towards the end, and now seems to have sort of made a corrective leg down. Gold is going to be much harder for me to pick where it goes because the fundamentals are still very strong for gold. Silver, short term, I'm still a little bit cautious, and I'm looking for $25. That's going to be, actually, if you want an exact number, $23.75. The reason why I come up that number is that is about percentage-wise where the bottom of the GFC, big sell-off in silver from 21 down to $8.60 or wherever it got to intraday. That's sort of percentage-wise the same move down. So I am picking up a little bit here. I'm not going to be completely out of the market until that level's hit, because it might not get hit. But I do want to bring up a key point. This is something that has been getting my goat for the last 6 months here on YouTube. Just the diehards. I mean, I hope nights like this allow you to see that silver can go down big way. You could be wrong about silver. If you're investing large amounts of money, it's prudent to do some research above and beyond what the frickin' web bots say. I mean, seriously, the web bot gets thrown around YouTube like it's a frickin' Bible. And bashing people over the head with it, saying silver's going to $60, silver's going to $100. There's nothing's going to stop it. The web bots have said it. The web bots, all they do is collate what other people are saying. Now the masses are normally wrong. Investing rule 101, when there's 10,000 people on one side of the boat and one person on the other side, it's that end of the boat that sinks. And everyone rushes over to the other side. They're trading the markets long term and short term is exactly the same thing. Web bots are bad information at best, disinfo at worst. And guys like Connecting.one who throws the friggin' web bots at you like it's the only... These are people who are too afraid or too intellectually challenged to do their own research on the market and to figure out for themselves, where they personally think the market's doing. They rely and over-rely on other people telling them what to do. And that happens in everything. That happens in all sorts of markets or whatever. We tend to over-rely on other people's information. But for some reason, the web bots, maybe because it's so, new or whatever, relatively new compared to information generally, people have just run with it, and it's become a religion. And so, the web bots were wrong. I'm hoping we can put the web bots to bed now. Can we just say that the web bots have been wrong about silver, or are we just going to keep holding on to it, even though it goes against everything the web bots have said? I mean, Connecting Dots 1, I'm using him because he's one of these web bot crazy guys, said that he guaranteed that silver won't go below $33 now, or whatever it was back in the previous low. He guaranteed it because the web bots have told him. So, if you bought silver at 33, 34, or anything higher than that, and now it's at 30, you can talk to Connecting Dots 1 because he's guaranteed you, he has provided insurance, if you will, against your silver, and he will backstop you, and he will fund the gap there because he guaranteed you. So always be careful of people. I'm speaking mainly to the newcomers in the silver market now. Always be careful of people who guarantee you anything, even though they're not really offering you insurance. I'm sure Connecting Dots is not going to come good on any sort of insurance policy. When people start talking like, I guarantee you this will happen, the web bots are 100% correct all the time, I guarantee it. And don't want to just use web bots, it comes in all sorts of forms. Just be careful. And you are going to be successful in whatever you do if you do your own research diligently. Do not over-rely on anyone else. Definitely use information. Information is everywhere. Filter it and rely on yourself. I see a side of YouTube and the people that are on YouTube that most don't. I see the 50-year-old single dad with 4 kids emailing me to tell me what he should do with his $20,000 for his kids. Should he pay off debt, or should he send his kids to school, or should he buy silver, or what should he do? Now, I don't answer those questions. I never have. But I see a lot of the faces behind YouTube, and when I see also what is circulating around YouTube, and that these people are getting that info, it bothers me a little bit that things like web bots could be a decision maker in these people's minds. Well, Cliff Heiss said it's going to $7,000, $600, $500 in the next 2 months, 5 months, 6 months. And it just concerns me that this is the information age, and yet information has never been more in need of such a filter. You really need your wits about you. This is not the information age, this is the over-information age, it is the disinformation age, it is the bad information age. We need good quality info, and there's more and more crappy information about silver, about precious metals, and that is starting to bother me. I know I have been, probably in the first 6 months of my YouTubing, I was just the same. So I'm not separating myself or saying that I'm any better or different from the people that I'm talking about now. But I've come to realize it, and only through realizing it can I improve the information I provide to you, can I help to do my part in cleaning up the whole area. So I'm not trying to come from a mightier than thou point of view. I've just been able to see the errors in my judgment and cleaned up my act, so to speak, and also help maybe others to do the same. So that's really where I'm coming from. It's not an attack on anyone by any means. Or maybe Connecting Dots 1, but he knows why. But anyhow, and so I just want to help others to learn to decipher information based on logic, reasoning. I mean, there's no reason why you can't believe conspiracy theories. I believe my fair share of them. But I have my own logical interpretations. It's not because Alex Jones tells me it's true. It's because Alex Jones might provide some sort of, handout or, reasoning or idea or notion as to why something might be the case. But it's not until it clicks in my head for this or that reason that I say, you know what, I think there might be something to it. Let me have a look. Or I may not believe it 100%, so I'm not going to try and pass that information on to a third party when I haven't really done my own research. That's how bad information perpetuates, that's how bad information turns into really bad information, and that's how it turns into disinformation. So be responsible for the information you use to better your own life, whether it be through investments, health, whatever it is you're interested in. Be responsible for self-filtering that information, and then be even more responsible when you pass that information on to others. If I was to pass information on to a friend or a family member, it comes with so much more weighting because it's come from me. If they had stumbled across it from the internet, by themselves, they might not even see it. But because I pass it on and give my tick of approval, it becomes so much more powerful, and they might go and do a decision that you absolutely didn't intend for them to do. But because it came from you, they might have sold their house to buy silver because the web bots are saying it's going to $600. You don't know how information affects those that you pass it on to. So take responsibility for that. Self-censor. And I don't mean self-censor as in be too scared to speak. Be responsible for what you're saying. Be responsible, take care, do the right thing by your friends, colleagues, and those who stumble across your YouTube videos. They are just as important as your family members. They are someone's family members. And again, I'm only seeing that because, when I came onto YouTube, apart from the few initial videos where I was like metals leasing, silver, you've got to get into it because it seems like there's a big shortage problem. The downside risk was minimal. It was like $10. There was only upside potential. And it came from a good place. It came from an enthusiastic place of, hey, I've got to share this idea. And then I started getting a few thousand subscribers, and it's like, okay, people watching this now, I'm going to just double check the information before I send it out. The first video is like, just get it out there, get the information out. Then it's like, oh, better start double checking this. And then it's like, people starting to ask for advice, and should I be buying, should I be selling, should I this, that? And it started to become a little bit scary to even do a video because you just don't know how people are going to react to that information. Getting back to the metals, however, obviously this bull market is not over from my perspective. There are higher prices to come, higher value to come from gold and silver. I'm looking at buying the dips, and that's how you play these markets. If you're like me, you may look at selling into the things like the $50 levels where it becomes parabolic. But if you're not like that and you're just accumulating a position, then you buy the dips. Now, I've bought the dips, as I said, not to any great degree, considering how much I'd want to be able to put into the metals at a low point, because I do think we're going to see the 20s, like in that range. I don't know how low in the 20s, but I'm in buy mode. I may buy higher than these prices, I may buy lower than these prices. But if we were to mirror the GFC lows, then 23.75 is percentage-wise the highest point, about there anyhow. Might be a bit higher. Is percentage-wise where the retracement would be if we mirror the GFC. There's no real reason why we should. It's only one data set. The GFC is only one set of data throughout history that we can say we're at the moment highly correlated to, but it's not enough to say, statistically speaking, it's going to 23.75. So it's not something that I would say, wait, it's going there, it will happen. And if I did say that, be very cautious because no one knows that. So I'm offering you my advice on how I see the market, and it's just really my blog. This is just a blog of how I see the current metals market. I still see more downside, I still see more pressure, but after a drop like that, it's hard to imagine that it's not going to rally 5-10% even. That was a significant capitulative move down. The market gave up. Very interesting. But we haven't seen those sorts of moves. Okay, from the $50 parabolic move, yes, we saw it, but also we haven't seen it since then, since the GFC. So interesting times ahead.